Hi there. Let's talk about how a good number of companies out here, most of big established companies, are actually killing your dream. I'm not telling you to quit your job because probably you need it, but also it is good for you to understand how big companies out there are actually killing your dreams in that they are enticing you, but in the grand scheme of things, you are giving up your dreams, giving up your ambitions to work for them. Let's talk about that. But even before we talk about that, I'd really appreciate if you can drop a like on this video. Like this video for it to be able to reach many more people out there. And in case you are new here, kindly consider subscribing to this channel. Thank you for subscribing. Having said that, let's now talk about how the entire system is set up, right from the education system to getting into employment. Guys, the system we're talking about is set up for it to be able to create people who obey rules, people who follow what they're told to do, people who are enticed and hooked by different things to the system. Think about it. Education system, those people who are A students, B students are taught to be grow up, get the best of education, go out there the job market, become the best of employees, okay? Not to become the best of employers. In other words, work for someone else for them to continue building wealth. That's why you see most of the times, for example, these students out there risk getting into business and ultimately end up hiring A students and B students. That aside, also the job market is curated just like that, whereby you need to work, and actually, if you didn't know, no one out here is gonna pay you enough amount of money for you to become rich, unless you work in those few of companies whereby, for example, you have stock options, you name it. No one is gonna really pay you good amount of money for you to become rich. They just gonna pay you enough for you to keep coming back for more. In other words, the kind of money which is gonna assist you survive month in, month out. And guys, that's the summary of how the bigger system is actually tuning you to kill your dreams. And yet, maybe you want to become an inventor, maybe you want to have your own fashion business, maybe you want to become a real estate mogul, you name it. Of course, despite these things I'm going to talk to you about, you need to know that actually you are in charge of your dreams. And it's going to call for you to have courage, to have that self-belief, to start something, even if you are in employment, and then over time, hopefully it's going to pick up. And having said that, how exactly do companies out here kill your dreams? The first way they kill your dreams is by rewarding the corporate ladder mentality. What I've just talked about. The way the corporate ladder mentality works is that you need to know that once you get into employment, you need to work very hard to become a manager, to become a senior manager, you name it. What you're going to be clouded on, in other words, what you're going to be blinded on is that all these roles have been given fancy names, yes, but in reality, you are working for someone else. And even so, they may pay you some little more, maybe call you a manager for you to be a gatekeeper of a given purpose. That's essentially what it is. Just because you're going to become senior in a company, it doesn't mean you are the owner of the company. In fact, the company owners can wake up one morning and decide to fire you, and you're going to be gone. That is how insane it is. And yet, a good number of people out there believe that they are home and dry once they start working with given companies out there. That is never the case, because the ultimate control with regards to where the company is going, with regards to how profits are shared and so forth, ultimately rests with the owners of the company. Okay? And then the second way companies out here are killing your dreams is not valuing your creativity or innovation. Let me give you an example. Maybe you could be out there working for an alcohol company. Guys, you won't really be able to inform the creative process of these companies because they have the formulas, they have the mixing methods, which ultimately give them profits. No one in there is going to listen to you with regards to ideas on how they can be more creative, on how they can have, for example, additional mixings and so forth. Ultimately, inside there, no one is going to give you an ear. More so in case that is not your role. You could be, for example, sitting in the finance department yet you have great ideas. No one really is going to assist you implement them. Reason being, you are an employee there. In other words, it is the owners who call the shots. Your work is actually to assist them implement what they envision for them to realize the profits they want. So most of the times out here, not all companies, but most companies don't value creativity, don't value innovation. In other words, if something is working, don't fix it. And by the way, it isn't working for you. It is working for the owners of the company. Given it's working for them, they have no reason to fix it because it is giving them profits nevertheless. And then the third way companies out here are also killing your dreams is through the salary trap. Let's face it, maybe you are working out there for a company earning 100k Kenya shillings each and every month. What you don't know is that actually these companies are usurping life from you. They are using you 5 days a week, 6 days a week, of course, for exchange of value. But you don't have time for anything else. And yet you could be sitting there thinking you are okay. Instead of even training, maybe in the evenings, at night, building your dream. A good number of people out there are actually comfortable with that amount of money they're earning, thinking it is good amount of money. Without them knowing, actually, in case they go extra mile, they could even be making that amount of money they are paid each and every month on a daily basis. And by the way, salary is a big trap because I know of a good number of people out there who are leading miserable lives. Despite being on the payroll, they are actually surviving paycheck to paycheck. They get paid today, in 1 week's time, they're going to be very broke. And then they're going to work diligently again till they get the paycheck for that particular month. And the cycle continues. Personally, I think that is a very terrible way of living. Because think about it. What is going to happen in case you are sent home today? You won't have the paycheck, right? It's going to mean your life is going to come down crumbling. So ensure you see your potential, you see your ability, you see your money value beyond the paycheck or the salary you are getting paid. And then the fourth way, big companies out here are killing your dreams. And I'm not saying all the companies, but be sure a good number of companies is by them making toxic work environment normal thing. Look here, guys. I'm pretty sure a good number of you out there are raised very well. And with that, you are raised, for example, knowing respect is paramount, knowing honesty is paramount, you name it. Unfortunately, a good number of companies out here, for example, make harassment of employees normal, make disrespect normal, and so forth. You can be trapped up in such a system that you think that is the way businesses out there work, that is the way people live. Woe unto you, for example, in case you have been employed by such kind of company, more so on your first job from campus. You may assume that's normal, and yet it isn't the normal thing. Unfortunately, a good number of people out there have accepted that is part of you growing up or going up the corporate ladder, which is never the case. You can work in a respectful environment, you can work in an environment where there's no harassment, and yet also realize financial rewards. Think about it beyond employment. You can start your own thing even possibly, right? And then the fifth way, which companies kill your dream, and personally, I think it is actually a very rough way of killing your dreams, is by you accepting to sign non-competing agreement and NDAs. Of course, for NDAs, it is understandable with regards to trade secrets. But non-competing agreements, you sign more so in case you're getting into those highly innovative companies. You accept that in case you come up with something in the tenure of your employment, more so using that company's resources, that product is going to be the company's product. That is how insane it is. And such kind of signings happen dominantly, for example, in the tech sector, in engineering. They are normal. Think about it, guys. You could be sitting at your desk during the work time, lunch hour, and then you get a brilliant idea. You start, for example, documenting it using the company resources and so forth. Woe unto you because that idea is going to be owned by the company. And in fact, you can end up getting in a very crazy legal tussle because you signed non-competing agreement and also NDAs. What do you think about this? Do you think that is a good assessment of how good number of companies out there work, how the corporate culture looks like? Comment down below if you've been trapped in such kind of system. How was your experience? Also, comment down below. Cheers, guys. I look for share with you other awesome videos next time. Bye bye, and you all stay safe.